Welcome to the Nanyang Business School Facebook live chat session for the accountancy program. My name is Yan Hee and I'm the head of the accounting division here at the Nanyang Business School. Today I have with me Kin Yew. Kin Yew, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Loh Kin Yew. I'm the Associate Dean and I look after the undergraduate program in Nanyang Business School. I'm also with the accounting division. I'm also teaching financial accounting.
Today's chat session is focusing on the accountancy program. So based on the question that we have on the Slido platform, we're going to address as many questions as we can over the next hour or so. If you have any questions on other specialization, such as banking and finance or marketing, please do remember to check out the other Facebook live chat session for those specialization. What is the accountancy program like at the Nanyang Business School?
The Nanyang Business School accountancy program is actually the best in Singapore, and it is also the longest established program here. And the reason I say that it is the best because it is designed to be fast track. Students coming to our school can pursue the accountancy program either as a single degree program, in which case you only need 3 years to complete it, or as part of a double degree program where we combine the accountancy and business, and that can be done in 4 years. And on top of that, the accountancy program is widely recognized by both the local accountancy body as well as many overseas accountancy bodies as well, including ACCA, ICW, CIMA. You name it, we have it. And I would also say one of the unique features of our accountancy program is that it is very practice-oriented. In the sense, we collaborate with the industry. We have, audit partners, teaching some of our courses, and we actually interact with them to find out what is really, needed as an accountant in practice. And this is what we built into our curriculum.
How have NBS changed the way we have been teaching accounting over the years? I would say about 15-20 years ago, the teaching approach is still very traditional. The focus will be on for example, a large lecture attended by a few hundred students, and it's basically a one-way massive download of knowledge and content. Now, all our classes at NBS are conducted small group seminar style. Let me run you through what a typical class will be like. Even before the class, students are expected to go onto our online platform, watch the videos that cover the main content for the class, take online quizzes to make sure they understand the concepts behind the topics being covered. They will also typically have to go through a few readings and prepare for activities that will be conducted during the class. In class, the focus is on class activities. So typically what we'll have is, for example, a set of problems or case study that the student have to work in a group in order to solve. And they will share and discuss and learn from each other in terms of their perspectives and insights. And of course, during class, we typically will also have class presentation where the students will sharpen their communication skills. Even after the class, the learning does not stop. After the class, we would have online platform where the students can post questions and the instructors and other students can take part to share their knowledge and insights that they gain during the class. And for small group kind of teaching, we also want to create a mindset for the student in terms of them being able to tolerate ambiguity. Very often the questions that we pose in class does not have a correct answer. What the student need to do is to gather information, analyze the information, and then come up with proposed solutions for the problems that we were looking at. In this way, the students learn to work in a team and also brush up their leadership skills. Another way that the accounting program has changed over the years is keeping in line with how the economy has changed. We are now living in a digital economy, and all our accountancy students have to take 2 courses in digital skills. The first one is on programming and data analytics, where they will learn Python and how to use Python to analyze data. The second course that they would have to take deals with emerging digital technology such as AI, blockchain, and machine learning. And with this basic skills that they pick up in these two courses, the accounting courses themselves have also evolved. For example, our managerial accounting course includes a data analytics project where students have to, for example, look at a online retailer, analyze the online sales data, for example, to identify transient customer versus more persistent customer. Look at what are the factors that drive those persistent customers to come back to buy things from the company, and then formulate a marketing strategy to target these persistent buyers so that there will be more purchases and more sales for the company. So as you can see, accounting education has evolved, and NBS definitely has evolved accordingly with the times to make sure that our students are well equipped with the skills required for a successful career.
I did mention that our NBS accountancy graduate performed very well in the Singapore Chartered Accountant professional exams. And this student particularly wanted to know what is our secret formula. Well, I would say there's no secret formula, but we do have a certain advantage, and one of them is actually the quality of the students that we admit into our program. We are very fortunate. We get very smart students coming into our program, very motivated to learn. And I guess also another important factor is because we have very good well-trained and very experienced instructors who teach in our accountancy program, and many of them actually came from the industry, and they still stay in touch with the industry, keeping up to date with what's happening in the industry. And as I think Gian mentioned earlier, it's the way we design the pedagogy for our accountancy program. It is very forward-looking, it is very engaging. Students coming to our program or taking our accountancy courses will have to be able to have a good grasp of the concepts, and more importantly, how to apply them to real-life problems. And in fact, this is exactly what the Singapore Chartered Accountant professional exam is about. It is very practical and applied. Okay, so students must be able to come up with solutions, not necessarily only one solution, but the ability to come up with options and justify the proposal. So this is how we train our students, and I think that helps them to do well in the professional examination. Not only that, we don't actually design a program just to help our students to do well in the chartered accountant examination. More importantly, we want to prepare them well for a profession, right, in the accountancy sector. So students here have to learn how to learn on their own. The onus of learning is actually on the student themselves.
That's right. Another reason why our students do well in the Chartered Accountancy program is that our students are highly sought after by very good premier employers. And these premier employers, for example, the Big Four accounting firms, actually provide very strong support to our students as they are working in terms of giving them time off to study, in terms of giving them the proper incentive for them to do well in the Chartered Accountancy program. So in this sense, when you come into the Nanyang Business School, you are not only prepared well during your time here, but also because you're able to secure a good job, your employer will continue to make sure that you do well, not just in the accountancy exam, but in other areas as well.
This applicant wants to know, can he do research with the accounting instructors or teachers?
There is actually a program called the Undergraduate Research Experience on Campus. In this program, professors actually list the topics that they are working on a platform where students can go and see, and they are interested in some of these topics. They can actually sign on to be a research assistant for these professors. Typically, these students get involved with research after their first year, when they have already gained some knowledge doing their first year courses. Another area where students can get involved in research is actually our work study scheme. In the business school, accounting professors sometimes list part-time work. Usually what this part-time work involves are research activities that the professor wants students to be engaged in. And this will again be listed on the work study scheme platform. Students can take a look, and if they're interested, sign up and be part of the professor's research work. And you will be paid because this is a part-time employment scheme as well. What do I have to do to survive the accountancy program here at NBS?
Well, I wouldn't use the word survive, but I would actually say, what student can do to excel in the accountancy program. For sure, you have to work hard, because after all, you are doing a university degree. You don't want to be able to, graduate with a class of honors without having to put in the work, right? So we do aspire students to work hard. It is a fast-track program, so we do not apologize. The fact that students come in have to be prepared, to work hard. But more importantly, I think you will find that actually, working hard is not a problem. Why? Because the courses are very engaging. It's very interactive. So students will naturally be challenged, and they will actually want to know more. And as Yan mentioned, the way we organize the courses is a flipped classroom. Students have the opportunity to learn not only from the instructor, but to interact with their peers and challenge themselves. All right, so you have various way of learning. I think that's the main unique feature. The other thing, I think students need to know how to prioritize their time. Very often coming into NTU, you will be staying, for instance, like in the halls. There are many activities going on. There are many students clubs that you can participate. And so I think you will not be lacking in activities that will command your time. So I think students have to take on the responsibility of managing their time, making sure that you have a very good balance in terms of work, in terms of play, in terms of even pursuing the sporting activities, right, to keep yourself healthy. I would say those are the main skills that you need. Anything to add on?
Yeah, just to add on, can you caution students to have a good balance in terms of school activity as well as hall and other CCA activities? What I'm going to add on is this: you shouldn't just be about school. You should, as much as possible, prioritize your time by getting involved with student activities, because that's where you will build networks and you will sharpen your people's skill. Another thing I want to add is that to thrive in the accountancy program, you have to be interested in the business world. So you have to keep up with current affairs. You have to keep up with what's happening in the business world. In this way, even during class, you can bring your insights and perspective as you build on this knowledge to share with your classmates, and everybody learns from one another.
Yeah. In our school, the learning is not confined to the classroom, right?
That's right.
Students actually learn beyond the classroom. And in fact, we would strongly encourage our students to go for an internship. And in our program, internship is compulsory, and now students have to do it at the end of year one. And that means that there will be more opportunities for students to take on optional internship in the year 2 or even year 3, right? And I think internship is a very good opportunity where students get a chance to apply what they learned in the classroom to real life problem in practice, and they actually have a glimpse of what is happening in the practice, and they can actually bring them back to the classroom to challenge the classmate or even the instructors, right?
That's right. Yeah, and just to add on to the internship, internship is important because it allows you the opportunity to find out what you like to do in the future as your career option, or at the very least, it helps you find out what you don't like to do. So that helps a lot as you go out and to look for a job that is suitable to your passion and your interests.
Given my A-level grades, may I know what are my chances to get into the accountancy program? Should I rank it as the first choice, accountancy itself, or accountancy with a minor in digitalization and data analytics? Which one would I stand a higher chance to get into? I guess ultimately it depends on your interests, because you can just do the single degree program in accountancy itself, and we have the option for you to add on the minor. So it would depend on what your preferences are, but I would suggest that you pay attention to how you rank your choices. Now, for your application to the local university, each applicant is given 5 choices. So you have to indicate what is your first choice, up to your 5th, program choice. And the ranking is important because, at each of this university, we will look at your choices. We'll start off with your first choice. Now, if you qualify for that program, we will offer you the program, and we'll stop, going down your list of preferences. So it is important that you list the program of most interest to you, as a first choice, in that order. If you get into a program, the accountancy with a minor in, digitalization and data analytics, you are locked into the program from day one. Okay, so you get to do it. And as you do the courses in your minor, you might realize that, hey, maybe I'm more interested in something else. Okay, or maybe I don't need the minor. You can drop the minor, or you can do another minor after dropping what you're offered from day one. On the other hand, if you come in with just accountancy, and then you start to think that, oh, I want to pursue the minor in digitalization and data analytics. At that point, when you apply for that minor, whether you get it would depends on whether there's vacancy in the program. Mm-hmm. So I would advise a more sort of a strategic approach to application is to select program with this add-on. And you have that option, the flexibility, after you come into the program, to whether to continue with it or to drop, okay?
So I think what Kinyu has also highlighted is how flexible our program is, that allows you to sort of mix and match within, of course, the constraint of a professional degree to pursue your passion and your interests. I have one here that talks about whether doing an A-level accounting helps, or is it a waste of time? In terms of admission, it doesn't help. We look at overall university score in terms of all the subjects they have taken. But in terms of our very first introductory accounting course, having A-level accounting might give you a stronger foundation to build on, where at least you know what an asset and liability is compared to, say, other students who have not been exposed to accounting. In particular for poly students, if you come from an accounting diploma, you can actually apply to be exempted from the first introductory accounting course. But beyond the first course, all our courses, because we are at a university level, are pitched at a level where it requires you to really understand concepts, implement those concepts, understand the issues behind them, and therefore, beyond the first introductory course, everyone is on the same level playing field.
Okay. And I guess you don't have to worry because our program has no prerequisite. There's no subject requirement to come into either our accountancy or even our business program. So we understand, the background of most of our students. So in year one, we will give you the foundation so that, you can progress on, in year two and year three without, any difficulty.
What are the job prospects beyond the accountancy firms for accounting graduate?
Okay, I think tremendous in the sense that, in fact, I would say, probably only about half of our accountancy graduate would actually go into an accounting firm or public accounting firm. The rest actually goes into non-accounting related, for instance, financial institution, marketing, whatever. And I think the reason is because our program is very versatile. We train students in terms of skills which are applicable to all industry. The knowledge, of course, has a certain advantage. If you are doing accounting related work, then your accountancy program will provide you with that knowledge to enable you to perform the task. But more importantly, you have the skills to adapt, to cope with things that you do not know. And the skills that we emphasize in our program is actually learning how to learn, right? And that is very important in this age when things are happening so rapidly. Whatever you learned, who knows, might be obsolete by the time you graduate. So you have to constantly keep yourself updated. So a lot of the prospective students, right? They read about all this, technological innovations, AI, machine learning, and there's a lot of talks that actually accountants might be replaced by robots.
Okay.
What is your take on that?
Well, my take on this is the machines, the new technology, are there to help accountants, not to replace accountants. For example, a lot of repetitive tasks, mundane tasks, would indeed be replaced by, say, automation. And you want this task to be replaced by automation. Why? Because robots can do those tasks more efficiently and more effectively. And what does that do? That actually free up the time for accountants to add more value to the business or to the corporation that they work for. Accountants can use the information, the prediction or the inference from these machines, from this automation, use the data, use the information, and make good decisions with them. Because at the end of the day, you still need a human being to be there to make the right judgment call. So will machines replace accountants? No. Will machines help accountants? Yes. In fact, you want machines to be around.
My brother graduated from accounting, and he said that the work is very stressful and many people resigned. Is it that accountancy graduates are not treated well? Okay. Well, I've been an accountant myself. I was with a public accounting firm for many years before I joined the university. What I recall, or what I really appreciated from my days with the public accounting firm, is that actually there's a lot of learning, and it added to my value. And in fact, I would say I would advise actually any accountancy graduate, you have a chance and you are interested, you should join a public accounting firm. Why? Because the exposure there is tremendous and is, I think, most immensely useful. Should you continue to pursue an accountancy career or even to move on from there. For me, I think I have the experience, the exposure to many industry, because as an auditor, you go around auditing clients from different industry. So I'm given that opportunity to observe how companies in various industry operates and how they differ, and that gave me a very good insight. And I think the other valuable thing in an accounting firm is that you get a chance to pursue your professional qualification, which the market recognize. And that helps you, right? In terms of your career progression. And after that, you can actually decide. A lot of my friends back then, decided to move on because they developed new career aspirations. And many of them are headhunted by actually the client. But there are also people who stayed and becomes audit partners. So I think there's a lot of flexibility. There's a lot of option. When you work in an accounting firm. But of course, if you decided from day one that maybe auditing is a cup of tea, your degree is versatile enough that you can actually go into any industry, okay, whether it's accounting related or non-accounting related function and roles. Okay, and back to the point that is it stressful in public accounting firm? Well, I guess this is actually true of all industry. Even if you join investment banking, okay, you're expected, okay, to work hard, especially in your initial years. Why? Because you are actually joining a profession, you're starting from scratch. There's a lot to learn. And in fact, the harder you work, I think it is even more beneficial, later on in your career. So I would advise that, don't be deterred by the hard work. It is expected of any young professionals. And the reason, this particular prospective student asked, a lot of people sort of move on or resigned from the firm. I guess that's actually how the public accounting firm is structured. If you look at their organization structure, they are very much a pyramid. In other words, they take in a lot of fresh graduate at the lower level. And as you progress, of course, you will need fewer, managers and audit partners. So it's actually a natural attrition, right, in public accounting firm. And as I say, people who actually leave the accounting firm, they are actually leaving, perhaps for even better options, or they prefer to pursue a different career path, right? And so I think it is actually a very good starting point for fresh the accountancy graduate.
Yeah, just want to emphasize the point that you need to understand why these people resign. They resign because they have the right set of training by the accountancy firm. They actually value add to themselves at the accountancy firm because of all the exposure that they have in the firms, and they resign because they are moving on to another industry, to another job that might be even better for them in terms of what they are passionate about, in terms of their interests. So as Kinyu has mentioned, joining an accountancy firm is stressful, but that is true for any high value, high level work in any other industry.
Yes. My family runs a small business. My mom thinks that I should study accounting, but my dad, thinks I should study banking and finance. What are the pros and cons?
I just want to say that you should study what you are interested in, not what perhaps your parents or your friends want you to study. So take the opportunity to find out a little bit more about what accounting is, what banking and finance is, so that you can make a more informed decision. And at the end of the day, if you are really undecided about accounting and banking and finance, we have our double degree program. You can actually do a double degree in accountancy as well as business, and within the business degree you can choose to specialize in banking and finance. So at the end of 4 years, right, what you are graduating with is 2 degrees. You can be an accountant, or you can work in a bank with your banking and finance knowledge and skills.
The double degree, where you do both the accountancy and business, is one option. Now the other one, where you don't want to spend the additional year of study, doing the double degree in 4 years, you can actually still, pursue the single degree in 3 years in accountancy. And what you can do actually is to couple it with a minor in business, which our school offer to all NTU students. So accountancy students can actually do a minor in business.
That's right. Okay. And a minor business is not limited just to banking and finance. You can choose from marketing, you can choose from HR consulting, and 4 other different minors.
It says here, my girlfriend is studying accounting in NBS, okay? So he has great incentive to come into our program, but not necessarily the one that I would, advocate. Okay, she says accounting will help us to manage our finances in future. It is very tough for me anyway. She wants me to study accounting as well as because she thinks it is a very secure job. Is it true? It is challenging, okay, but I'm sure our students, have no problem coping with, if you work hard. And as for whether it is, it offers a very sort of a secure job. Well, I will share actually, based on the graduate employment survey for our 2019 cohort, which is the most recent cohort, on average, 96% of our, undergraduate, students, they found a job within 6 months, right? A full-time job within 6 months after their graduation. So indeed, it is true. Securing a job is not, difficult with either our business degree or our accountancy degree. And I would say that that's partially because of the mandatory internship that we require our students to go through. Because if you perform well in your internship, okay, many firms will often invite you back for either additional internship, or they actually give you a full-time offer, way before you graduate. So I think, yes, there are very good job opportunities, if you pursue an accountancy degree or a business degree, with us.
I have to agree with Kinyu that in terms of getting your first job, coming into the accountancy program will actually allow you to secure a job quite quickly. This is based on the historical trend that we see. But it's not just about the first job. Economy is always changing, right? Technology is changing, how we do business is changing. At NBS, we teach you, remember, to be tolerant of ambiguity, of change, and it's with this mindset that you have after you graduate that I think in the future you will be able to more adapt to the changing economy. You are able to unlearn and relearn, and with this skill set that's inculcated in you, you need not stay in your first job, right? You are able to move to other industry. You are able to work in different job function, different job scope, because you have the ability to change with the time, right? To manage change around you and change in yourself. So I must say that I think our degree program does at least equip our students with these basic skills that will allow them to pursue lifelong learning in the future.
Do you use industry people to teach? My friend told me you have a lot of external people teaching, and these teachers are not even professors.
In our program, we have professors that teach our courses. We also have people from the industry teaching some of our courses, and it is actually a positive thing. Why? Because these people who are teaching for us actually are working in the industry, or at least have a lot of years of experience working before in big companies or in one of the big four accounting firms. And you actually want some of these people to be in your classroom. Why? Because they will be able to share with you good insights, valuable experience, and give you a different perspective than say what your professor can give you. In this sense, you have a more complete education where you can hear from diverse perspectives, diverse viewpoints. So yes, we do have people from the industry who are not professors teaching for us, but these are the people who actually bring value to you in your classroom.
So we actually want them, right?
That's right.
Yes. And I guess the other benefit of having practitioners, senior people from the practice involved in our courses is that actually they actually do provide a lot of opportunities in terms of internship, right? Because actually a lot of firms, public accounting firms, want to be involved in the program because it's a way to identify talents, potential talents for their own firm too, right?
That's right. And just to add on to that, when we design our course, when we revamp our courses, we also take in inputs from these practitioners who are teaching for us, because they are able to share with us what is the latest trend outside, what are the latest issues that they face as they are working in their own organization. So in that sense, they also help not just with the teaching, but also with making sure that our courses are at the cutting edge of what is required out there in the practice world.
Does more students go for the Singapore Chartered Accountant qualification as compared to ICAW, which is actually the Institute of Chartered Accountant of England and Wales, after graduation? Which would you think is better if possible? Our program or our position in Nanyang Business School is that we actually work with all professional accountancy bodies. We prepare our students, in a sense that not for a particular, professional qualification, but we encourage our students actually to, consider all possible, qualification that are out there. And ultimately, it is your choice. Okay, which professional qualification you want to pursue. You have the flexibility. For instance, like our student can go with the Singapore Chartered Accountant qualification, or with ICAW, with ACCA, CPA Australia, Chartered Accountant of Australia and New Zealand. Okay, so these are all the possible, and these are all widely recognized qualification in the industry itself. So ultimately, you have to make a choice, and I guess one of the consideration would be, ultimately, where do you think you want to establish your career? If you're thinking of, maybe in the long term, I would like to practice in Singapore, then of course it makes sense, very good sense, to go with the, Singapore Chartered Accountant qualification, right? Because you have the local professional body here who can actually support you subsequently in your career development, right? Because you constantly have to upgrade yourself, keep in touch with changes in the accounting standard, the auditing standard, what's happening in the industry. And having the professional body who's located right here, you will of course have a lot of resources, a lot of support. Okay. On the other hand, if you are thinking of going overseas, and depending on where you go to, you could consider, of course, for instance, like you want to practice in UK, then maybe a ACCA, ICW, qualification might help. And by the way, I must mention, there's a lot of mutual recognition agreement among the professional bodies, so that if you're a member, let's say, of the Institute of Singapore Chartered Accountant, okay, if you're a member with them, your membership or your qualification will actually be recognized by professional bodies that have also mutual recognition with ISCA, right? Institute of Singapore Chartered Accountant. So you are actually, able, okay, to work as a professional accountant in other countries where there are such mutual recognition arrangement.
That's right. And just to add on to that question and the points that Kinyo has already made, which professional body that you do your chartered program with might also depend on which company or which organization that you join after you have graduated. Because different companies, different big four accounting firms, for example, might provide incentives, might provide training for different professional bodies exams. So it depends, right? If the company that you join actually have put in place a training program, incentive structure for, say, the Singapore Chartered Accountancy program, then that might be indeed the professional qualification that you want to pursue versus the other that's equally available to you to pursue given the qualification that you already have at Nanyang Business School.
And in fact, this is not a decision you need to rush into at the moment, because when you come into our program, we will have many opportunities, where we actually have joint event with the various professional bodies. So you can talk to representatives from each of this professional body. You have the opportunity to talk to your, accounting, professors. In fact, we have, accounting faculty who are members of different, professional bodies.
That's right.
So you have the chance actually to find out more. And then you can, like I say, decide on which program, because our program, our accountancy program, prepare you, for all, the qualification, right?
And again, just to add on, we have a lot of student clubs on campus. For example, the Nanyang Audit and Assurance team. They actually work with all these different professional bodies in terms of organizing events, case study competition, and if you are involved with these student clubs, then you will actually get to meet people from CPA Australia, people from ICAEW, people from ISCA, Singapore Chartered Accountancy Program. That's where you can find out a bit more, understand how these programs work, and then make a decision from there. So as Kinyo has mentioned, there's actually no hurry for you to choose upfront.
What is the usual average timetable for accounting students over the course of 3 years?
In terms of each semester, the number of modules that you take, it typically ranges between 4 to 6, which means that you can actually schedule your classes, if possible, to a 3 or 4 day work week, and you have 1 day that you might not actually need to come on campus if you don't want to, but that day can actually be used for, say, being involved with hall activities or being involved with one of those student clubs that I've mentioned. So yes, about 5 on average courses per semester.
Yeah. So it's actually a very manageable. In fact, I'm aware of many, single degree students completing their 3-year program in 2.5 years. And many of our double degree students completing it in actually 3.5 years instead of the usual 4 years. But our general advice to students is that there's no hurry to rush through your university education. After all, it's a once in a lifetime experience, and there are many opportunities in both NBS as well as in NTU that you can explore. All right, in fact, there are students that take gap year. Either to go and start up their company or engage in some service learning project. So you have that flexibility that you can graduate within the usual duration of 3 years or 4 years for the single and double degree, or you can actually, lengthen it so that you can actually, explore more opportunities, right?
I heard that the compulsory internship at the Nanyang Business School is only 8 to 10 weeks. Can I go for a longer internship? Can I go for multiple internships?
So as we mentioned earlier, the internship is compulsory in our program, and in fact, the compulsory internship will be completed at the end of your year 1. Okay, so that's during your summer holiday, which is between May to August. So students spend about 10 weeks, out working in a company. And in fact, we have a very strong support team. We have our own career services team that help to place our students, for the internship. We also have the Career Attachment Office, which is at the NTU level. They too help our students to look for internship. And the internship is not confined, for accounting student to only accounting related jobs. In fact, as long as it's a structured program, students are encouraged, to apply, because the whole idea of the internship is for you to find out more. What are your, career aspiration, how it fits, with the kind of roles that various firms have to offer. And so you have that flexibility to choose, right? Which company in what industry to complete the internship. And the idea is that having done the compulsory internship, then students, if they want, can pursue additional internship in year 2 or year 3. So you have even more opportunities, right, to expose yourself to the various different industries itself.
Given that it's only a 3-year program, would I have any opportunity at all to go overseas for some overseas experience?
Yes. Yeah, you're talking about probably the exchange program, which is very popular with all students. So, in NTU itself, we have like over 170 overseas partner institutions that take our students for exchange. So students can apply, you name it, whichever country, whichever city, we probably have a partner universities.
That's right.
So students actually apply to do their exchange normally in their year 2, Sem 2, or year 3, Sem 1. And the good thing about exchange is that you pay the local tuition fee and you get to study, overseas, for free in a sense. I think a very sort of, attractive option besides just doing a pure internship is for students to actually go overseas to do the internship, in other words, work. In fact, our career services team has actually provided, more than 400 such places for our students to go overseas to work, and they are everywhere. Okay, in fact, we like to place our students in the growing, developing countries like India, okay, Africa, even China. Many cities are available for internship. So you have the option of doing exchange, internship purely, or you have the opportunity to combine both internship and exchange. So we have this overseas entrepreneurship program that is offered by NTU, Intuitive Division. So in this program, students actually get to choose to either go away for 6 months or even up to a year. And for this program, they place you with startup firms. Okay, for instance, like in Silicon Valley, in Munich, in London, in Beijing, in Shanghai. At these places, you have a choice to work with startup firms. At the same time, you can also, do some courses at the partner university in those cities. So you get to gain work experience. At the same time, you also can complete some of your program requirement by taking up courses at those local partner universities there.
So just to add on a little bit, so in 3 years, you can actually structure some of these programs and still graduate in 3 years. But we have the flexibility for you if you want to stretch out your program.
Yep.
Right? So you don't have to finish everything in 3 years. If you feel that it actually add value to you, say to take an extra half a year to do a overseas internship or to do an overseas exchange program,
Yes.
The flexibility is there for you in our program. So you can maximize the benefits from it.
Yeah. So just to clarify, when we talk about compulsory internship, I'm talking about the 10 weeks, okay, internship that most of the students will complete at the end of year 1. But like we mentioned, students also have the option to go on longer internship, and this is where you can spend up to a semester. So what happens is that you can either do it for credit, okay, so you can enroll yourself in what we call the experiential semester program, where students actually take 6 months off, essentially 1 semester to work, okay, and you will actually earn academic units. On the other hand, there are also many students who actually apply leave of absence and they go on internship without any credit bearing. that is possible. So you have the flexibility, the option to design, in a sense, your own internship, the duration, where you want to go, either local or overseas, right? I think that is the flexibility we provide to all our students.
That's right.
What are the chances of a student getting accepted into a double degree in accountancy and business if the student has rank points of less than 85? Now, well, as you know, the admission exercise is actually ongoing now. So, the applications are coming in. So there's no way, in a way that, we can sort of, determine what is the cutoff. It all depends on the quality, right, of the students applying. So it is very much limited, by the number of places we have in our double degree program. So maybe to share, at Nanyang Business School, we are the largest business school, and our annual cohort, the intake is 1,002. Okay, so roughly, broken down, we take in about 200 students in our double degree program, 500 in the single degree accountancy program, as well as another 500 in a single degree business program itself. Feel free. In fact, I would encourage you, if you are really interested in the double degree, give it a shot, regardless of your rank points, regardless of academic result, because you should actually select programs based on your, aspiration, your preference. Okay, so make sure you put the program that you really want, as a first choice.
If I come into the Nanyang Business School, would I have a chance to take courses in other college? I really like music, and I'd like to take a course in, say, music appreciation. In the Nanyang Business School, if you're on the accountancy program, you actually have what we call unrestricted electives, where you can use these unrestricted electives to do courses that you like, be it in music, be it in technology, be it in arts. This is the advantage of Nanyang Business School, in the sense that we are in a comprehensive universities, where there are many colleges here, engineering colleges, we have the medicine school, we also have the design school, humanities school, communication school. Therefore, if you want to choose to pursue your interest in some of these courses, you can use these unrestricted electives to take courses that you are passionate about.
Yeah.
You wanna?
Yeah, just to add, actually, NTU has more than 70 minor programs that's open to all NTU students. So including, students from our school. Okay, so it's unlimited. Right. If I wish to do a 6-month internship abroad, which year could I do it in, given that the compulsory internship is in year 1? So you can do it either way, because we have the mandatory internship, the 10 weeks that students complete after their year 1. Okay. Alternatively, if you have planned to pursue a 1 semester long internship, okay, you can actually substitute that for your 10 weeks. Okay, so in other words, instead of doing the 10 weeks, you opt for the semester long internship. That is possible. Alternatively, you can do both, right? Just like the first one will be credit bearing, the 10 weeks. Okay, the second one you can do it for non-credit, right? So you have that flexibility. And for both the compulsory or semester long, the optional internship, like I say, you can do it locally, or you can go overseas. And maybe to add, besides having internship that are secured, by our career services team, as well as the career attachment office, students are also encouraged to self-source their own internship. So perhaps maybe now you are working with a company, and that company wants you to come back after you start your undergraduate program. You can do that. Okay, so students can actually self-source. But what we require is that the internship, that you propose must be structured, because we want our students to go through structured learning, so that this is ensure that they can learn from the internship rather than you end up doing a job where you're just basically doing photocopying or making coffee. Okay, that's not what we want our students to do on the internship. We want it to be a structured learning where students have an opportunity to apply what they learn in the class, to real life problem, at the same time bring back real life problem to the classes subsequently. Right? Okay, I read that MBS has experiential semester program as well as the Skill Future work study degree program. But that is only for the banking track and business analytics. Is there anything similar for accounting? Well, I would say that currently we don't have a formal work study degree program for our accountancy program. But actually, if you look at what is the work study degree program, it's no different from students going on a semester-long internship. Okay, so if it's not available, go ahead and secure your own. Right, we can actually help you to secure semester-long internship, right? Because essentially that's what a work-study degree program, where students have the opportunity, to learn through internship, right? Through experiential program by working. So you can structure your own, right? If you don't have it, you can structure your own, or you can seek the help of our career services team or the career attachment office to secure you a semester-long internship. And we don't restrict our students to the number of internship. We have students who have completed, 3 or more internship on their own, right? So you have the choice. Okay.
So, thank you very much for sharing the past 1 hour with us. We have tried to answer as many questions as we can on the Slido platform. For those questions that we are not able to answer, we will try to take them offline. So watch the Facebook page as we try to answer some of these questions. Once again, I thank you for being with us, and I hope that with the information they have gathered through the NBS open house, you'll be able to make a wise and informed decision about what course you want to take. Just a marketing shot, do come to NBS accountancy program. We are not only rigorous and relevant, we are flexible as well in terms of how you want to pursue your passion and interest. And rest assured that as you study here, as you pick up the skill sets here, you will be ready for the career that you want to pursue in the future. So thank you very much and good evening.
Yeah, and hope to see all of you in the Nanyang Business School family. Okay, good night. Thank you very much.